And welcome back to lesson 4 of our history topic, the Maya. Let's take a look at today's learning objective, and I will explain what this means. The LO is I can make inferences about history using primary evidence. So let's break that down. Inferences are what we do in reading. We look for clues and we use the clues to come up with an idea or an answer or a theory. I've given the example many times of a character in a story who storms into a room, slams the door, has their arms folded, has a scowl on their face. We make an inference, we say that they are angry. So today we're going to be making an inference about history, and we're going to use primary evidence. Primary evidence in history means that what you are looking at actually came from that time. We did this in history with the Vikings when we looked at a letter from Alison of York. Also when we looked at the poem about the berserkers. Those were examples of primary evidence. So today, the primary evidence we're going to look at is this mask. Now, obviously it's a photograph, so it's not the real thing, but the primary evidence is this mask. Now, I have here a sentence which you're going to write the LO and then you're going to write this sentence. This is the funeral mask of a Mayan. So when this person died, they put this mask on their body for their funeral, for when they were buried. It is made entirely of jade, a very precious stone. So this green material you see is jade, which is a very, very expensive, precious and rare kind of stone. So you're going to write that and then look at this sentence. I can infer that the dead Mayan was. What that means is thinking this is an expensive stone. What does that tell you about the dead Mayan? I can infer that the dead Mayan was, and then you're going to write if they were a poor person or a rich person, if they were an important person, if they were a man or a woman. What can you tell from this mask about this person? What kind of person would they bury in an expensive mask made entirely of a precious stone? So you're going to pause the video, you're going to write the LO, you're going to write this. I would really like some people to have a go at drawing the picture as well at the side. If you want to do that, you can either draw it just pencil, or if you have colours, colour it in. That's an option to draw the picture. So copy the sentence, copy the LO, and then pause. After you've unpaused the video, we'll take a look at who this person was. Okay, so we're going to read about someone called Pakal the Great. Pakal the Great, and you can tell from his name of his title, the Great, Pakal the Great, and then it has in brackets AD 603 to AD 683, was only 12 when he became the ruler of Palenque. So straight off the bat, we can see he was a ruler, he was a king. He ruled the city-state for nearly 70 years. Under him, so that means because of him, Palenque became grand and powerful. So he made this city-state into a powerful and amazing place. Pakal was given a spectacular burial. His funeral, that means a spectacular burial. He means he had an amazing funeral. When he died, his funeral mask was made entirely from jade. So let's take a look back at what you wrote. You wrote your prediction, your inference about what he was. So you can now copy this next part, a new paragraph, so misalign. After learning more, I have discovered my inference was. Were you correct? Did you think that this person was a ruler or a king? Or were you incorrect? Now, if you said that they were an important person, you could say, my inference was partly correct, because you were a bit correct. This mask belonged to Pakal the Great, and then you're going to write AD 603 to AD 683. So I'm going to look forward to seeing what you have written, whether your inference was right or whether it was incorrect. Now, remember, it doesn't actually matter, because sometimes we have an idea that doesn't turn out to be the case. The most important thing is that you've thought about it. Now, that is the end of this lesson. However, I have included on Google Classroom a shorter video about Pakal the Great, which you may want to look at. It starts off by looking at a different mask from the one you see, a mask that was made when he was very old, and you can have a look at that. If you're on YouTube, it is the next video in the YouTube Mayan playlist. So thank you for taking part in this lesson, and I will see you next time for lesson 5.